Sawadika Metster, it's
Sawadika
Amory.
Metster, I'm Jeremy
Hey,
Zucker.
Metster, it's Lucas
It's Martin
Graham.
Garrix here, and you're listening to MET 107.
It's about real life experiences. I mean, I right before this interview, I just ran a 10K. So I ran 10 kilometers about about an hour ago, and I'll do it again tomorrow. And I did it again, and I did it yesterday. So like anyone that knows me, I run. That's what I do. I'm a runner. I work. I love exercising. Running though is my big. I do it before concerts. I do it every time before a show. And so that's partly why it's called Run, because that is literally what I think on my phone this year, I'm not making this up. Let's see what it says here. Like this year, not counting treadmills, which is, I run on treadmills all the time. But let's see here. I've run 2,000 kilometers this year, and you could probably double that if you add in the treadmill. So that is what I do. And also, people that know me, I have always, from a very young age, I'm very inspired all the time. I'm very curious and in creativity. And I'm always thinking about, where's the next place we can go? Let's go there. Let's do that. Let's try that. I'm involved in 30 different businesses, and I'm doing 6 albums at the same time. So this song is about someone, me, who kind of wants everything in life and wants to see it all, taste it all, try it all, travel to all of it, but obviously you can't, it's impossible. So it's that constant search of that high-paced energy, which is what I have. And it's that constant search for something new and exciting and different. I want to meet that person. I want to try that food. I want to go to that city. That's just how I'm wired. And to me, the song is telling you, like, get up, get off your butt. Life is short. You're not guaranteed another day. Get out there, run, wake up, look at the sun, chase it down, and, grab life by the horns. The blessing and the curse of OneRepublic is, if I don't write the lyrics, the songs don't work. So yes. my weird angle on life or lyrics or songs is what makes it work. So I don't ever get to phone it in. And that's part of why it takes so long. And that's part of what frustrates me. So that's the secret number one is the lyrics have to come from me through my very, very specific lens, which the way I turn phrases and use certain phrases and words is very specific to me. This one was the most difficult because it was the end of 19. It was the end of 19, and Rescue Me had come out and it had done really well, but we wanted to drop one more song and hopefully do even better. By the time we got around to doing it, COVID hit. That's what happened. It was like, let's just move the album by 6 months. Big deal, 6 months. And we were going to time the release for the summer tour in America, the Europe tour in the fall. There's all these things you have to plan around an album that have nothing to do with the album. And that's why we moved the album to April, May of 2020, and then COVID-19 hit. So that's why it moved. For whatever reason, my favorite song, it might not be the biggest song on the album, but my favorite song is a song called Take Care of You. Mm-hmm. And that's the one that kind of has the cool synth tempo. It's almost like a Drake record. It's like an emotional Drake record, honestly. And I don't know. I love the hell out of it. Yeah. The hardest one to write or to finish. There's a song called Someday that is one of the best lyrics and concepts on the whole album. It's just like the lyric just punches you in the gut. It like, you know, emotionally. But we were working on Someday up until a week ago. And we're at our deadline right now because I just couldn't, I wrote it in Thailand. We actually wrote it in Phuket, and in Bangkok, and finished. And actually it still sounds very much like how it sounded in Thailand. And I just haven't been able, you know what it is? COVID, when you have too much time, like COVID gave us another 15 months. When you have too much time to think about something, you overthink it. And then you create problems that didn't exist. And so with Someday, I loved it when we did it in Thailand. I loved the week after we left, it was like done. The song was done. And then we had time to look at it and think about it and listen to it. And then we did 30 versions of it. Songwriters and artists are still not fairly compensated for streams, and streaming is where everybody is going now for for listening. You know, radio obviously still is impactful and valuable as well, but you know, if people aren't listening to radio, they're streaming. And songwriters, the only real way that we get paid, or artists who write their songs, is from radio. So thank you, radio, for playing our stuff. That's how we get paid. And you know, I'm sitting in my recording studio now. I didn't pay for this studio with streams. I paid for it with radio. And so until streaming pays writers and artists even fair, I'm not even asking for like the majority. I'm just saying just even a fair amount, I don't think artists will be happy. I think that we are still a ways off from writers and artists being compensated fairly for streams. So I think that has to change. I think it will change. I'm very confident. I have reason to believe it will change in the coming years, because we're in an age of transparency and fairness. I don't really mix up between the two ever. I mean, it's rare that it ever happens. You know, Counting Stars, I came up with that idea initially at a like while I was writing for Beyonce, and you know, I had the idea the same maybe a couple months before I wrote XO for her album. I was writing for her, and then I stumbled across something that inspired Counting Stars, and I remember coming up with the chorus melody and the idea that the phrase Counting Stars, and then just thinking, this feels like a huge song, but I don't think she can sing this. Like, it didn't make sense for her. And I thought, well, I'll just keep that. So that's maybe the only time in history that I've ever done that, you know, simultaneously. It's really simple to separate, because when I'm writing for an artist, I'm writing 90% of the time with that artist. Thank you. Thank you, guys.